So to quickly go over my qualifications for survivable, I'm going to be acting as if it's some random guy playing these minigames. Mario is a superpowered plumber who beats up bad guys. Your Uncle Frank works in plumbing and has 3 DUIs. He's a much better benchmark on the survivability of these minigames. Now for this video, I'll only be going over Mario Party 4. This is because during my initial research, Mario Party 4 minigames seem to be the most pointlessly violent. Some of them should kill you before the minigame even starts, but I'll get to those later. Let's begin. Manta Rains. This fun minigame involves the player swimming through the ocean trying to hit rains of bubbles. At a first glance, you may think this minigame is immediately lethal, as the players only go up for air at the end. But really, they're not that deep. And beyond the invisible wall, which we've already established is a non-factor, there's nothing actually stopping you from just swimming up and taking a breath. It's only about 10 feet deep. The end of the minigame even shows every character reaching the surface safely. But you still need to get that far to reach the boat, and some people can't swim, so I'm going to put it in probably fine. Domination, a classic Mario Party minigame. Just swing your hammer to launch whomps out of the ground. I don't really see anything that could kill you here. Maybe a mild injury by dropping the hammer on your foot, but otherwise completely survivable. Then where do you go? You're on a platform in the middle of nowhere. You're never making it off of there. Where the hell are you? Starve to death. So, that one wasn't that good. How about a fast round with 3 that you can survive? Goal is set in a soccer field. The whole game is kicking soccer balls into a goal. I've done this in real life. You're fine. In Cheep Cheep Sweep, you're in a small pond collecting Cheep Cheeps to the net. That's it. Now, unless you have an open wound and there's some viral flesh-eating fungus bacteria prion in there, I'm going to say you're okay. Now at first, fish and drips may seem lethal, as you're standing on a platform in the middle of nowhere. However, if you look closely, the background is clearly superficial. You're probably on a film set of some sort. But just in case it's still in the middle of the Pacific, I'll say probably fine. Well, that was fun. You know, maybe I overestimated the lethality of this game. Hide and Go Boom is a minigame where you get shot out of a cannon. There's still a 1 in 4 chance that your can doesn't fire, or you could be the one holding the torch, but I'm still going to say near certain death. Parasailing is honestly pretty safe for the situation you're in. The person in the air can't actually hit anything, and the person in the boat doesn't need to accelerate. Assuming they take their time, you should both be okay. Right or left involves you and a partner on a small boat escaping a cave. Now your boat can crash if you're not careful. That's not what I'm worried about. What I'm worried about is a giant Bowser statue spraying fire. Now I don't want to say you're going to die, but you're dead. Look at this boat. This is not the kind of boat you want in this situation. This is the equivalent of one of those duck paddle boats that you rented with your best friend back in high school, where you both kept making jokes about how it felt like you were on a date. And sure, maybe every time he looked into your eyes, you did feel your heart flutter. But it's not because you're into him, it was Mike. This one is likely lethal. Now in Bomb on Breakers, you don't actually have a body, nobody knows. So, I guess I'll just put it in Purgatory tier. Now Blame It on the Crane probably looks super dangerous. Because it is, but assuming there's no major mechanical failures, you might be okay? The drop might hurt a little bit, but there's definitely a curved surface in that pipe to slow you down. The only way I really see this minigame killing you is if the crane operator misses the pipe and drops you onto the ground. And that looks to be around 25 feet, so you're probably still fine, just with a broken leg or 2. Most likely okay. Now photo finish might look comically survivable. Unless you win. In which case, you jump into the painting where I can only assume you're trapped forever. Purgatory tier. Butterfly Blitz puts you in a field of flowers with the goal of catching as many butterflies as possible. If you die here, you deserve it. Avalanche has you skiing down a mountainside, escaping a, avalanche. So I'm just going to go ahead and put this into You're Dead immediately. Now I already hear you complaining in the comments. Actually, people escape from avalanches all the time. What constitutes this minigame being 100% lethal? Well, I'm glad you asked, straw man that I made up to make myself sound smarter. In this minigame, if you don't get first, you get swallowed by the snow. Now the ending cutscene just shows them as snowballs. They're video game characters. That's what happens. Your Uncle Frank, however, gets crushed under 500 pounds of compacted snow. And even if you get first, you're dead. Let's take a look at the ending cutscene. That is a bare minimum 100-foot drop, and Yoshi stops immediately. The snow is not protecting your fall at all. The momentum vanishes instantly. You are dead. D-A-E-D, dead. In free throw, you play basketball. Tree Stomp is the biggest disparity between how dangerous it looks and how dangerous it actually is. If you're in a mech, you're automatically safe. The only danger is for the runner. In the game, getting hit by a spike launches a player out of the arena, which sure, that would probably kill you. But you're a real human being, that won't happen to you. If you get hit by a spike, you might get a small cut or something, but just walk away. The arena doesn't have any walls, you can leave. Now while nothing in Stamp Out or Trace Race would kill or even harm you, being shrunken down to that size is no kind of life. Now sure, you probably won't starve to death, as whatever sick freak did this to you most likely has a hamster cage of some sort prepared once the minigame is over, but personally, I don't really see that as life, so purgatory tier. You also get shrunken down in Booksquirm and Money Belts, but these aren't purgatory, these just kill you. Booksquirm flattens you down flat like some thin material, and Money Belts causes you to fall multiple times your height, then get crushed by falling candy. Booksquirm near certain death, and Money Belts probable death. Wow, we got a lot left. I'm going to quickly go over the ones that absolutely cannot kill you unless you're trying to. Mario Medley, Order Up, Take a Breather, Toad's Quick Draw, Making Waves, Mario Speedwagons, and Candlelight Flight are not going to cause you any harm unless you're doing something extremely wrong. What will harm you is starving to death after the end of Team Treasure Trek. Once again, you're in the middle of nothing. How did you get here? The Great Deflate may look like a great way to break your tailbone, but you don't actually have to ground pound. You're just a human. These are weird freaks who ski away from avalanches for fun. Just open the valve and sit there. You're going to get second, but you'll be fine. Hopper Pop is probably the tamest one of these. If you win, or if you're one in the spike ball, you're totally fine. But if you get hit, you're getting crushed by a spike ball. You're going to look like Squidward after you went through that one thing. Almost dead. Now that one really depends on whether you lose or not. You know what doesn't? Paratrooper Plunge. Falling from the sky, collecting coins. With a balloon on your back. Then you hit the ground. With a balloon on your back. You're dead. Mr. Blizzard's Brigade is a minigame where the goal is to avoid getting hit by snowballs thrown by these happy little snowmen. Because if you get hit, you instantly get frozen inside a block of ice. Something that doesn't seem to affect these snowmen whatsoever. They just keep smiling like a regular Tuesday. Anyways, assuming exposure doesn't kill you, you're going to be starving to death in these woods. Slime Time is a button mashing game where the goal is to escape from a slime. Now I could go on about how when you lose, the force of getting snapped back by your spine at such a speed would kill you, but it's not actually that fast, and you're getting pushed back into a soft material. Maybe it could cause some bruises, but overall you'd be okay. Anyways, this minigame starts with you getting flattened by a giant slime, so you're dead. Dungeon duos may seem survivable at first. The only time limit is the one against your opponent, and if you're just trying to survive, that's no problem. The jumps seem to be the hardest part, and they're not that wide. Only about 2 Marios, which is around 6 feet. Not the easiest jump, but doable. So all you really need to do now is pump up your hot air balloon that has no control mechanism whatsoever. If this thing goes up, you're not coming down, and if you do, it's at terminal velocity. You're dead. Long Claw of the Law would have nothing wrong with it, if it wasn't for the fact there's a chance that you can grab a bomb. Now if you're taking your time, that's not going to happen, but just in case, I'm going to put this one in probably fine. Paths of Peril is terrifying, but luckily, there's hope. First off, you'll actually be able to see where you're going. You have eyes in your head, not in the sky. But that's about it. In the minigame, Klepto catches you if you fall, but let's be real. A bird is not going to be able to carry you. And even if he could, why would he? He says in this game that Mario is his old pal. Who are you? Klepto is eating you for dinner. Maybe survivable if you take it extremely carefully, but I'm putting this one in probable death. Reverse-A-Bomb is actually Mr. Beast's next video. This game is a 2v2 where you press a button to reverse the conveyor belt's direction, in the hope that the bomb on top of it will hit your opponent first. Now beyond the obvious danger of getting blown up by a bomb, think of the psychological aspect of this minigame. This is a party. You're here with your friends, and every time you press that button, you're potentially condemning your friend to death. But hey, you might win, so probably deadly. Cliffhanger starts 60 meters up a sheer rock wall during a heavy snowstorm. In Chain Chomp Fever, you're standing on a platform surrounded by lava, trying to avoid a raging chain chomp. That by itself should certainly be lethal, but you won't even have the possibility of starting this minigame. The temperature around molten lava can reach upwards of roughly 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit, or 1,100 degrees Celsius if that's your thing. By the time our chain chomp starts charging you, your retinas will have already burned away, your entire body will be on fire, and the only thing you'll be able to think about is wishing that it was over sooner. And finally, we get to what I think is the funniest minigame, Bowser's Bigger Blast. A minigame about pushing random levers, hoping they don't cause this giant Bowser head to explode. That's a bomb the size of a car. The moment it goes boom, every person on that block is gone. This isn't even a Bowser minigame. The Mario game is choosing to do this for fun. This is a party for them. And that's the list. I'm not going to count it, but I think it's around 50% lethal, or at least will injure you in some way. If you don't like my list, or if you think I got something wrong, or that I forgot rumble fishing, please leave a comment, as it increases my interaction.